Think of an algorithm as a set of instructions. The metric might be very important to client A, but it's not that important to client B. Think of it this way. You have clients across multiple industries. So whether it's automotive, entertainment, travel, and they're all using the same algorithm. Makes no sense, right? So why aren't the brands doing it? The short answer, it's hard. It's not easy to build your own algorithm. The long answer, there are multiple reasons. We've seen improvements in CPMs by up to 47% with customized algorithms. It's almost cut in half.
Hicham, welcome back to Below the Fold.
Thank you.
It's really nice to record this second piece with you.
Yeah.
For those that are just tuning in and have missed the first part, we recorded an episode on media quality with Hicham. So feel free to go and check that out. And now we're going to cover with Hicham customized algorithms. For those that don't know Hicham and haven't listened or watched the first episode, Hicham, could you just give us a very quick intro, please?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Hicham. I've been in the industry for 12 years.
Yeah.
I've mostly worked on the supplier side of the business.
Yeah.
And I've recently joined Double Verify. It'll be around 2 years now. So I did the shift from publishing house, content creation, digital ad sales, banner sales, and so on, and moved towards measurement, quality, and algorithm.
You've seen the tech firsthand, basically.
I have, and there's so much to see. I mean, I've been with Double Verify for 2 years, and I'm still learning the ways internally. So it's a crazy work.
And today we're here to talk, or in this episode, we're here to talk about a very special topic, a very interesting topic, which is customized algorithm. Let's start with maybe defining what is an algorithm first, right? With a simple explanation.
Absolutely. I mean, the best way to explain it is keep it as simple as possible. So think of an algorithm as a set of instructions that takes into account an input and gives you an output.
Yeah.
Okay, so one sentence. This is algorithm. Okay, now if you want to look into how it can help, think of algorithm as an assistant that helps you answer the who, what, when, where, and how question, and it takes a decision on your behalf. Okay,
right.
For the sake of our discussion, algorithms are going to be about digital ad. Okay, so what are these? Who, what, where, when, how? Who should I serve the ad to? What creative should I use? When should I serve that ad? Which placement should I bid on? And how can I make this more efficient? The how part is the optimization part. So this is where it takes into account the bid request, the bid floor, how much to bid. So how much is that impression worth?
Mm-hmm.
It can look into the timing of bidding. It can look into placements, websites, and so on. So this is what an algorithm does for you.
Okay, clear.
Now, we then moved into something called but within a few years, I would say that they've done it and they've deployed it, which is the BYOA. So bring your own algorithm. And that's something that Google and Meta have introduced.
Yeah.
Okay. What is BYOA? It basically allows you as a client, as a brand,
as an advertiser,
absolutely, to develop your own algorithm using your data, so you can decide on which ads to bid on based on your unique business requirements. So this is how it started.
Right.
This is, I would say, the intro to customized algorithms.
Right.
Is that option was given to brands. Like, go ahead, start building.
Can you give us a practical example of a BYOA algorithm?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So the whole idea of bring your own algorithm is that it's fully customized based on your own data. So what type of input? So we talked about it's a technology. These are instructions that
Yeah.
take an input and they give you an output. So
Yeah.
what input can you have as a customized algorithm? You can look into your sales data. You can look into your historical ad performance data,
Mm-hmm.
On-site interaction. So not just an impression or a click or a landing, but
Mm-hmm.
how did each user engage on your website?
Right.
So you have many brands, for example, where the more engagement, the more on-site engagement they see from a client or from a potential customer, they would say, okay, this is a hot lead, this is a cold lead, and based on that, they can start creating algorithms to bid more for that user.
Right. So it can be a combination, right, of metrics. For example, it doesn't it's not just limited to one single metric.
It shouldn't.
Like the conventional,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
optimizations or algorithms, because it then would allow a proper full funnel approach, right? And this is one of the things that you wanted to talk about, which is why these platforms have introduced customized algorithm. I guess it would be, again, to find the middle ground between a landing page visit and a conversion, right? And for different brands, it means different metrics, different combinations of metrics. And I guess this proves very valuable, right, for brands to capitalize on.
It does. The idea of giving that flexibility to clients is because every client has his own set of metrics, and what works for one doesn't work for another. What a metric might be very important to client A, but it's not that important to client B. Think of it this way. You have clients across multiple industries. So whether it's automotive, entertainment, travel, and they're all using the same algorithm. Makes no sense, right? So
Yeah.
because they're all using off the shelf, the default algorithms that Google gives you, Meta gives you, they work.
Yeah.
No one's saying they don't work. But when you are given the flexibility to input your own data, to increase the weight on one metric over the other, to instruct the algorithm, like, yes, a click is important, put that weight on it, but what's more important is my on-site engagement. So you factor this in when you're creating that algorithm. That's something off the shelf ones wouldn't provide you with. So this is when you start really leveraging the power of AI and what.
Right. And even on-site engagement can be a multitude of metrics, right? We're not talking about a particular conversion or an on-site or soft conversion. It can be what you define is an on-site engagement, and you're free to come up with 200 different types of on-site engagements, right? And feed that into a custom algorithm, right? As an input.
Look, if you take a look at every client's website, they're built different. There's the interaction points are different. So there's maybe add to cart, explore more, learn more, download a brochure. There's so many touch points within that journey that is different from one client to another, from one industry to another. So why not capitalize on that data?
Yeah. You also wanted to talk about what to keep in mind when looking at third-party solutions. So there are out there third-party providers of customized algorithms.
Yes, there is. We're one of them.
Okay.
But the question here is, why go to a third-party provider? Okay.
Yeah.
If you take as a business proposition, Google's telling you, or any platform that allows you to create your own algorithm, they're telling you, go ahead, build your own. We're more than happy for you to deploy it on our platform. It's great. Why aren't brands doing it? The short answer, it's hard. It's not easy to build your own algorithm. The long answer, there are multiple reasons for why brands haven't jumped on that wagon yet. One, lack of resources and expertise.
Yeah.
Not all brands have the expertise or they have the right people to build these algorithms. Two, building an algorithm is not a one-time activity. There's very high cost of maintenance in terms of capital to put in, but also to actually keep updating the algorithm. You don't build it and then you set it and forget it. It doesn't work like this with algorithms. And you see it. You on social media, every now and then they tell you, we've updated our algorithm, we've updated it. So it's obvious that, okay, building it isn't just, you don't get one team, like a task force, build me my own algorithm,
Yeah.
I'll deploy it, and thank you so much. No, that's two. Three, the time it takes to build an algorithm. Months, okay, years, and then to keep maintaining it. And in fast-paced industries, you want to move fast. So whether it's the FMCG, CPG, travel, tourism, these are automotive. These are very fast-paced industries. Innovation happens quickly. Competition is fierce. So you need to move fast.
Mm-hmm.
How do you move fast? If you have a third-party expert that are able to build that solution for you, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So to your question, what should you look for, right?
Yeah.
What should you look for when you're when you want to work with a third-party solution?
Yeah.
First and foremost, make sure that whatever they are building is compliant with data laws.
Yeah.
So whether it's GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, or CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, or any type of data privacy law, make sure it's compliant. Because if it's not compliant, it's going to get you in trouble. Two, make sure it integrates seamlessly with your tech stack. Okay, we all know you use a DMP, you use a DSP, you use a CDP, web analytics. There's so much that there are so many technologies that you use. And going back to the definition of algorithm, it's a set of instructions that takes into account an input.
Mm-hmm.
So your DSP data, that's an input. Your web analytics, that's an input. Third-party measurement, your quality measurement, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is an input that you can factor into your algorithm. So make sure that whoever's providing you with a customized algorithm can seamlessly integrate with all these data points. Third, make sure that this integration doesn't greatly disrupt your workflow. Now, I'm saying this, but obviously there will be some disruption, okay? You're changing a whole algorithm and what you use to bid on media.
Yeah.
So obviously there will be some disruption at the beginning, but then later on, no, it's gonna make things much easier for you.
Yeah.
So I think these are, you know what, actually, I just remembered one.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it until now. Customer service.
Yeah.
You can have the best algorithm, but if you face a problem and no one's helping you fix it,
Yeah.
so make sure that whoever you're dealing with has a
Proper customer
reputable,
support.
exactly, yeah.
And this is like
After
you said,
sales, not before sales. After sales, customer service.
After sales. So, like you rightfully said, this isn't a widely adopted approach, right? It does require time. It does require a certain level of expertise. This is where third-party solutions, can be helpful. And obviously, you would need the right support from these, third-party solutions in order to help you implement the custom algorithm. And before we move to the last point on customer algorithm, could you just maybe elaborate a little bit more on what sort of disruptions you're referring to that you would come across when implementing a custom algorithm?
Look, so one of the disruptions you'd face is mostly in the testing phase.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to test, and which brings us to the last point.
Very good. Yeah.
It's you found a third-party solution that checks all four. Okay, it's working fine. Everything is working fine for you. Now you want to make sure that the actual algorithm will drive efficiency for your brand.
Mhm.
So you need to test it. Now, what's the best way of testing it? A/B test. So you run a business as usual line item,
Yeah.
and then you run another line item with the customized algorithm. That activity is disruptive to the way you do work because you're used to setting a budget in one place, but then now you have to split the budget. You have to make sure that every change you do in the business as usual line item has to be reflected in the custom algo line item because you cannot change the targeting.
Yeah.
You cannot change the
You
audience
want to
in one.
compare apples to apples.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This at the beginning can be time consuming, and we all know humans are resistant to change. And to be fair, the people working on these campaigns, they're so overworked. So you come in and tell them, hey,
Mm.
do extra work.
Yeah, with a little bit of a maybe also risk to their eyes, right? Because they're walking in uncharted or on uncharted territories, right? But with the right partner in place,
Absolutely. You need the right guidance.
Yeah.
Okay. It's when we do those A/B tests, it's not to say, oh, look, we're better.
yeah,
It has nothing to do with that. Okay. If we do well, you're doing well, the agency is doing well, the client, the whole ecosystem is now doing better. Why not? Why
Mhm.
not? So once you do those A/B tests and you say, you know what, I think I'm going to adopt the custom algorithm as my business as usual.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, which is a very fair question, let's say everything is working fine now.
Mhm.
How can I be sure that in 3 months that algorithm that is being updated and that is being fed new input is still doing better than off-the-shelf algorithms?
Right.
It's the same connection of, okay, I did my measurement, in the part 1 of our discussion.
Yeah.
It's working fine now. Why should I keep doing it? So with a custom algorithm, why should I keep using custom algorithm? And this is where we tell clients, test it, do an A/B test. Don't do against benchmarks, run head to head.
Yeah.
Okay. Test it. Test for few campaigns, few months. See which one is doing better in terms of reach, frequency, CPM, CPV. Look at the metrics that interest you as a media buyer and decide. It's very data driven. There's no opinion
Yeah.
on it. Okay. It's either doing better or it's not doing better. You deploy it 3 months down the line, do another A/B test.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, other platforms, they update their algorithms. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
We update the customized algorithms. Now it's time, after 3 months, do the test again and let's see. And if like, we're more than happy to tell them do it 2-3 times a year. It's fine,
Yeah.
right? As long as the results speak for themselves.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of data, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty of algorithms, where you're really just comparing a list of key metrics. Okay, it performed a dollar CPM. This one 0.7. Speaking of CPMs, we've seen improvements in CPMs by up to 47% with customized algorithms. It's almost cut in half.
Mm.
So the question is, why aren't more people jumping on that wagon? Again, it's difficult, but as you said, with the right partner, it can be done.
Very good. Well, I hope that after this, maybe more people will
I
test
hope
it.
so. Yeah.
Will test it, and more importantly, will continuously measure, right? In order to make sure
Absolutely.
that they
Absolutely.
continuously improve their custom algorithm. I do want to ask the listeners and viewers to share their input in the comment section. Share any questions they have for Hicham on custom algorithm.
Happy to go through them.
We'll ask Hicham to reply to those. Hicham, thanks a lot.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It
Yeah.
was quite the discussion. I'm really happy we did that.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. Yeah. I mean, on to the next one.
Absolutely.